In this 3ds Max tips and tricks video, I want to talk about shape compounds. So in the past, we were able to do Booleans with splines in an editable spline environment, but that was very tricky. And after doing any kind of Boolean operation, you were never able to change the Boolean operation. So with the introduction of Max 2019, you do have access to shape compounds. So if you go into the 3ds Max shapes, and you will find in the drop down the compound shapes. And the shape Boolean behaves a similar way how the 3D Boolean operates. So by default, the star shape was my selection. So the default operand is being applied to the star. Well, the operand parameter is set to a union. So be careful with that, because when I do select any kind of different Boolean operation, I'm already applying that to the particular selected object. So what I can do, I can add an operand. So I'm going to add an operand, and I'm going to add the circular operand. And this is the union. What I'm applying. If I want to change it, I can do that by selecting the circle 002 and change this one into a intersection. Also, when you apply a new operand, just be sure to deselect the existing operand. So when you select in an empty space of this one, then I'm able to do a new operation. So now I'm able to subtract, and then I'm still in add operands, and I'm gonna subtract the circle out of this. So then I'm deselecting add operands. Again, you can always change any kind of Boolean operation by changing the mode. And what I want to do now is I just want to add a bevel profile to add some extrusion with a nice bevel. So I don't do any extrude modifiers anymore, since the bevel profile has got an update a couple of years back in 3ds Max. So with the bevel profile modifier applied, I'm using the improved version, obviously. And the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna do my basic extrude. So that's the basic extrude. Obviously, you have your extrude segments, and then you have access to the beveling itself. So now it's set to custom, but it also has many built-in presets. So maybe I want to have a convex profile. I can still change the bevel path, the push parameter. The capping is working on one side by default, so the capping is set to bevel cap. So let me just transform the object in Z space. So the bevel is only working on this side of the object. If I change the end also into a bevel cap, now the beveling is happening on both sides. So if I slightly rotate the object, so that's where the bevel is being located now. And due to the fact that I did a shape Boolean, I'm still able to go back into the shape Boolean and change all the existing parameters. So now the circle is selected in the operand. So in the stack, this is exactly the circle. So if I select the circle in the stack, I'm still able to change the radius. In this example, if I go back to the shape Boolean, if I go to the star, so if I select the star operand, in the stack, you do have access to the star. So in the star, you can, if you want, you can change the amount of points. I want to add points, and maybe I want to add a slight radius in both directions. So again, this is super nice having shape Booleans. So this is helping with a non-destructive workflow while you're building your objects inside 3ds Max.